Tome said the hideaway is built inside an airship. Said it was called the Invincible. Old Tome said the hideaway is built inside an airship. Said it was called the Invincible.
Norseman Harpocrates.
Now that is a name I have not heard for a long time. So long, in fact, I had half forgotten it was mine. Welcome home, Clive. You were missed, as always.
I believe this belongs to you. Vivian asked me to return it.
Ready? Our resident scholar devours books faster than young Tet does lemon tarts. Would that I could do the same. But alas, I no longer possess the necessary constitution for such indulgence, either in words or tarts. That said, I have continued my search for mention of the creature you encountered at Drake's Head. But without access to the great libraries of Oriflamme or the Dominion, I regret that I have been able to find little and less. I am sorry.
Please, don't apologize. I'll send word to our associates. See if they can't furnish you with more books.
I fear it is not more books that I require, but the right ones. Mayhap we look in the wrong places. There are still libraries to the north.
I'll see what I can do.
You are too kind. There are not many in this world who would indulge the whims of a tired old historian.
Not too tired to go filching Kupo nuts, though. Always got a pocket for him. Nicks him off the Moogle.
Hush now. We all know there's no such thing as Moogles.
The twins seem well.
Aye. Yet they laugh far too little for one so young. The loss of their parents weighs heavy on them, however well they hide it. Titan took much from us that night, from some more than others, and the wounds that remain, they are not quick to heal.
Which is why we must give them all the time they need.
That we must. Just as I must give you the time you need to recuperate. Good day, Clive.
Good day. Gav will be back soon. I should get some rest while I can.
How good it is to see you, Clive. Look around you. Still. Why? It has been difficult, certainly. Had you not let us hear, I still remember. And thank goodness they did. I have a few new notes that might interest you. What
What subject shall we consider today? door to the shelves shall ever be open.
Old Tome said the hideaway is built inside an airship.
Not back a blink and you're already off solving everyone's problems. It looks good, Clive. Goes well with the scowl.
I'd had that brand for so long. I'd forgotten what life was like without it. What it was like to be myself. And it's all thanks to you, Talia.
The scalpel did most of the work. Ah, before I forget, a rider was here with a letter from Gav. Otto left it on your desk.
Otto stole us. All right, I'll have a look.
And then you get some rest.
What could Gav have thought worthy of a letter?
Well, I should be getting back to it. Unless you'd rather...
Have we any more knuckle pies?
Oh, sadly not. Molly used the last of the chocobo in... you.
I don't know, but...
Welcome back, Sid. Coming right up. Oh, keep your mug handy. What can I get you, Sid? How am I getting on? Ah, about as well as you'd expect of a barmaid pouring sour ale for penny. And it'd be worse than that if Molly here didn't make the best stew this side of Stone here. Don't tell her you heard that from... Don't be a stranger, Sid.
Well, don't just stand there gawping. Coin purse weighing you down. Is that all? And what can I do for you? Well, you won't hear me complaining. The only drawback... Still... I remember it like it was yesterday. You're our leader now. Wash yourself out there.
Blood on it.
Clive! You're back! You didn't happen to run out of potions while you're away, did you? We've a fine selection of tonics and tinctures. Perhaps you'd be interested in some new accoutrement. Gear.
Once the hall's swept, it's over to the Tavern Crown for me.
Still smitten with the sun. Girl, are you? She's a fair one, all right.
Otto was here earlier with a letter from Gav. He left it on your desk. What does Gav have to say?
The Republican army is on the march, leaving Randalar in Hugo Kupka's charge. With him and his men occupied with the defense of the capital, they're less likely to trouble us.
Good news, then.
It's more than that. This is our chance. The one we've been waiting for.
But look how far we've come. All that we have here, our friends, the hideaway, are they not cause for joy?
5 years. 5 long years. If I could only command this power I've been granted, we might have achieved so much more. But each time I reach for it, it's like something is holding me back.
Summoning an icon exacts a price not easily paid. Your body knows this only too well. It's merely trying to save you from yourself.
And every burden I cannot bear falls to you.
This mission of ours has made me question everything I thought I knew. But one thing has become abundantly clear. The crystals take more than they give. In exchange for momentary comfort, we must endure a lifetime of pain, war after war, loss upon loss. And now they rob us of our very homes, leaving naught but dust and ash. But you're trying to change that. We're trying to change that. And to me, that's no burden.
I know, but...
Try not to forget. We're only here because Joshua gave us a second chance. It would be a pity to waste such a precious gift.
He did. He was there. It wasn't an illusion. I heard him call out to Ultima. If Joshua is still alive, he'll be looking for that thing.
Do you think he will ever come back?
I know he will. And we must be ready when he does. To a world without mother crystals. To Sid.
And so the North is lost.
I knew that the Blight spread ever more swiftly, Your Grace. But this is far, far worse than any could have imagined.
It is only a matter of time before the twins are no more. The world marches ever closer to its end, and here we chase shadows. Tell me, brother, are our efforts in vain?
Master Clive, a moment, if you... my apologies, I didn't mean to... intrude.
Not at all. We were just discussing strategy.
Speak freely, Otto.
It's Martha, from the inn. She's gone missing. Anyway, I'll be in the mess when you've finished.
Very well. What would make Martha leave the rest?
If something has happened to Martha, we need to speak with Otto.
If you told me you could fire a forge without a crystal or a bearer before I came here, I'd have taken you for a madman. But no, here it is.
The secret's in the bellows, you know.
They're Master Sid's own design. The other Master Sid.
Clive? Thinks you ain't too bad. Nah. You forget, because I haven't. Still. So, will it be?
No scratches, all right? Anything else?
Look, Sid. Squeaks wants to meet you. I can keep him, can't I? Can't I?
This plank will have to be replaced.
Nearly half the crates were lost to bandits.
But half weren't, and their contents will see us through the season.
Where did I put that sack of lime? Sack of lime.
That they bloomed at all is a blessing in itself.
Much was lost when the first hideaway fell. Colleagues and friends. Years of hard work. But we did not let that loss defeat us. Our work will not be in vain. No. The spirits of our fallen comrades live on in every leaf and limb you see here.
It's not the ether. It's the water.
Won't be long now, Martel. You'll try your apple soon enough.
This tongue here pulls the black from the lake water and renders it blue. You'll have to ask Mid if you want to know how it works, though.
Charlie says I can't go and play until I finish my sums.
Well, then hurry up and finish them. We need 3 for curling geese.
Ah, Sid. We were just about to start our next lesson. You're welcome to join us. But be warned, I tolerate absolutely no tomfoolery.
Can't catch a wink with all the clamour in the hall. The atrium's quiet this time of day.
Sid, what's the special occasion? You're welcome to join us for a spell, if you think Jill won't mind. The lawsman says I can borrow as many books as I can carry. This was all I could carry.
Go on. Eat up. You won't grow fat pecking at hay.
What's the matter, Sid? You look as pale as the day your predecessor slung you in the cell next to mine. Not about to have another fit, are you? Of course you aren't. You're a changed man now. We both are. What's the matter, Sid?
No one works longer or harder than our Otto. You can scour the whole of Storm and Ash, and you won't find a better man.
Escape from the slave markets. How'd you manage that?
I had some help, but it was mostly luck. The others weren't so lucky.
Here, some curial root tea for the pain.
Rosaria's not so kind to travelers these days. If you're bound for the rest, make sure you keep your wits sharp and your steel sharper.
What do we know, Otto?
Some lads from the Imperial garrison in Rosaria started a fight over at Martha's Rest. Blood was spilled, bones were broken. The usual. But somewhere in the middle of it all, Martha vanished without a word to anyone. And that ain't like her, Clive. Something's not right.
You think this was planned?
Course it bloody was. Ever since Eastpool, the Empire's been tightening its grip round the Duchy's balls. They've strung up everyone who's ever set eyes on a runaway, claiming they're traitors to the Holy Throne, conspiring to restore the House of Rosfield to power. And now it sounds like the bastards have turned their attentions to the pallbearers meek enough to stay put. Naturally, old Martha could see the way the wind was blowing, complained that it was getting harder and harder to take bearers in.
And now she's missing. She's fallen into the hands of the Empire.
We couple of curse breakers are already on their way. They should speed up the search. But if this is as...
Don't worry, Otto.
It's not that I don't trust Cole to do his bit, you understand? It's that I don't trust the Empire to show any of us any mercy if we get in their way.
Have you finished sorting those reports yet?
Clive, Sid. Cole and his men left earlier. I can have another party ready, if you deem it necessary.
Finish with that log.
Back, Sid.
Damn blighted.
Is everything all right?
Aside from the holes in my hull.
The lake water doesn't agree with it, then?
That's one way of putting it. And unless you got some grand scheme to suck the black from the lake like we... That slurry will keep eating away at the timber like young Tech does our lemon tarts. Suppose a coat of pitch might stave off the rock for a moon or so. Assuming we had any pitch, which we don't. Not any bloody more. Doubt the old tub's got more than a dozen runs left in him.
Of course, Obolus. Your skiff is our only means of reaching the mainland. Without it, we'd be lost.
Well, I'm glad someone round here sees it that way. To make pitch, you need pitch trees. But in case you haven't noticed, live trees are one of the 1,000 things sorely lacking in the Deadlands. Now, I'm not so unkind as to ask you to fell a faraway forest and lug the logs back here to the mere, which is why we'll be needing a suitable alternative. And it just so happens I once heard the thorny pitchers of Curltail Falls cover themselves in a sticky wax to trap birds and beetles and whatnot. Might be enough to tide me over.
Sounds easier than felling a faraway forest. That's for certain.
Never been to Curltail Falls myself. Never seen a curl for that matter. Not that I want to.
Easier than felling a forest, I said. The trees still have teeth. I can't imagine Obolus needing any more than this. Time to head home.
Well?
Find is one way of putting it.
Ugh. Reeks like a chocobo's arse.
Argo. So your boat has a name?
Yeah. Same as me old man.
He was a ferryman himself. Yeah, Sid. How is it I never see you on the ferry? Ah, forget I asked.
What happened here?
Come on. We need to find the others.
Fucking Imperials. If they hurt Martha, they'll have the whole rest to answer to.
Best off staying where we are for now, I reckon. The boys from the garrison might still be nearby.
Founder, let's get you to Physica, shall we?
I'm sorry. Oh, I think I twisted something.
Sid? What said you'd be coming?
I trust you don't mind. Also thought you might need some help. And it appears he was right.
They're saying the Imperials descended like a storm. No one was spared their fury. Martha tried to step in and calm things down, but all our efforts got her were a pair of iron shackles and a hard march.
Any idea where?
Judging by their tracks, they headed towards Sorrowwise Bay.
To the Abbey, sheltering Martha's bearers.
The bastards. Jill and I will go after them. You take care of the people here.
We will. But, before you go, one of the locals heard something. He said the soldiers were talking about a culling. I don't know how big this is, but it doesn't sound good. Be careful out there, Sid.
You do the same.
This culling business. You don't think the Empire means to rid the land of bearers, do you?
What in the world is going on?
Lads from the garrison all poured in, sword swinging, and took Martha away with them.
Cole is right. That was no tavern brawl. It was a message.
But a culling. Bearers are the property of the Empire. The garrison wouldn't have the authority to act alone. The orders would have had to have come from higher up.
Fucking Imperials. If they hurt Martha, they'll have the old rest to answer to.
What was all the screaming and shouting, Mummy?
I told you to stay inside.
Are any of you hurt?
No, they didn't come this way, thank the Founder.
They've killed my bearer. I demand recompense.
How do? Thanks very much. There you go. A fair trade. I wanted one of those. A fair trade. That all, is it?
Good to see you, Sid. The soldiers who did this are long gone, I'm afraid. We're doing what we can to treat the wounded.
If those Orsons touch an hair on Martha's head, I'll kill them all myself.
Look. Up ahead. Martha, are you hurt?
Don't worry about me. It's them at the Abbey who need you. You have to do something.
Tell us what happened.
What happened? The damn Black Shields, that's what happened.
The Black Shields?
The bastards caught wind. The Abbot and I were helping bearers. They were gonna hang us both. When the sick rose from their beds. Poor souls turned on the Imperials. Distracted them long enough for me to get away.
Then they may still be alive. Martha, do you think you can make it back to the inn? Cole is there with the other curse breakers.
I think so. Thank you, Clive.
Black Shield. Is this some sort of... twisted joke? There has only ever been one Order of Shields in Rosaria, and they fought to defend all her citizens.
It seems a step too far. Even for the Empire.
late.
There might still be someone inside.
Over here!
No.
Damn it.
I thought you lot were all spent.
Murderers. They drove the bearers to this.
Wait. These two aren't turned.
That bitch of an innkeeper must have sent them. Colluding with the enemies of the Empire is a serious offence.
And for their crimes shall they be punished. Such is the law. To dwell in darkness that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these our swords we swear.
How dare you speak those words? Have you no honor?
This won't take long. Is that all of them?
I think so. I didn't see the abbot. He may still be alive.
Found her.
The abbot.
The bearers died protecting him. Calling upon what little magic they had left in their bodies.
Clive. He's breathing.
We're friends of Martha. We're here to help.
Are the Imperials dead?
They are. Every last one.
If only that were true. The Black Shields will return. The cullings will continue. Rosaria will never be saved unless we save her. Tell Mother
to beg Cid's aid and tell her this wasn't her fault.
I shall.
Cid! Where are you? Cid!
In here! We found a survivor!
Clive. He's gone.
We've laid the abbot to rest. But the bearers... they didn't need to die like this.
No, they didn't. But it was their choice. They knew the fate that awaited them and chose to meet it on their terms, fighting for those who fought for them.
Martha said they rose from their beds, threw themselves at the Imperials so she and the abbot could escape.
I've gathered the bearers' remains. We should consign them to the tide.
There's a drawbridge not far from here. Radix Jump. The currents there are swift. If the abbot were still with us, he'd have taken the dust there himself and performed the casting. I'll get someone to...
I'll do it.
Of course. Cole and I will remain here and see to the Imperials.
The fork to the drawbridge is back the way we came. It's where the abbot would have gone himself, had he not.
Spotted us, Torgal? What am I saying? Of course it has. There's a floating eyeball. didn't see that coming. That must be the bridge. So shall the waters cleanse thee of thy burden.
And now they are truly free.
I hope so.
A pyre was made. It's more than they deserve. Cole is worried about Martha.
All right.
We'll return to the hideaway as soon as we've finished our ministrations.
They've killed my bearer. I demand recompense.
No one survived then?
I'm sorry. Before he passed, one of them bade me tell you not to blame yourself.
Doesn't mean I won't. Doesn't mean their blood's not on my hands. Cole said you cast their remains, but it should have been me.
How? You couldn't have...
But I did. And I turned a deaf ear to the warnings like the fool I am. The rumours started moons ago. Of black-clad devils descending on villages in the dead of night to slit them. I assumed it was all just nonsense concocted by the Empire. Nothing but a ghost story meant to make folk think twice about lending a hand to...
And in ordinary times you would have been right. What these Black Shields are doing is unthinkable. Which begs the question, why do it at all? My mother obviously has a hand in this. I cannot make sense of her actions.
And picking what goes on in that woman's head is a job for someone with more time on their hands. Right now, I need swords and men to wield them, preferably big ones. If those Imperials think they can come in here again and threaten my people... Oh, before I forget, Astolas from Otto. He asked me to tell you that Gav has returned.
Then we must as well. Will you be all right here, Martha?
We can stay longer if you wish.
No need. I'll be ready should the Imperials come calling. Though I wouldn't turn my nose up if you were to lend me a pair of them strapping young curse breakers. Those poor souls died to give me a chance to save others. I won't let their sacrifice be in vain.
If you don't mind, Sid. I'd like to stay here with Martha. Just until she finds someone to guard the rest, that is.
Arthur's a stout soul, all right. Anyone else would be out cold after what she's been through.
What in the world is going on?
Best off staying where we are for now, I reckon. The boys from the garrison might still be nearby.
Found her. They're not bumping into them again.
Try not to move. You'll only make it worse.
Oi! You there! Don't just pass me by! You handy with that sword of yours? Of course you are. Bet you're a bloody marvel with it now. Question is, are you willing to use it or not?
Chocobos.
You heard me right. Wild, and not just any chocobos. Whiteheart and her flock are the bravest birds you ever did see. They protect travellers round these parts from...
Chocobos.
It's true. Why, they saved me from a gang of footpads only yesterday. Oh, go on, then. There's a...
Where can I find these
I saw him cut across the way over yonder. The rotten scoundrels would drive... You save Whiteheart and her flock, you hear me? There ain't a pluckier bird. And don't worry.
I'm sure I will.
And good luck to you.
Whiteheart. That's quite a name for a chocobo. A white feather. I thought Ambrosia was one of a kind. Speaking of brave birds. Looks like they went that way. These chocobos aren't going down without a fight.
We got you cornered, Feathers. You didn't think you'd seen the last of us, did you? You've been bad for business. But I reckon someone will pay good coin to mount your head on their wall.
Not around here, they won't.
Oh. And why's that, eh?
Because she's something of a hero in the... You hurt her.
This.
All right, then. You're safe now. White Hart, I presume. Do you know her, boy? That scar. It couldn't be. Ambrosia. It is you. You survived. And you found yourself a flock.
Oi! Is it over? I thought I'd come and see how you were getting on. Oh, you sorted the bastards then. I knew you would. And the whole flock made it through unscathed.
Thankfully, they did. And not only that.
Well, I'll be. I never stopped to think our hero here might... Though I dare say she'd suit a fine fellow. Reckon our feathered friend must have learned... Bird like her would have cost a princely sum.
Well...
Oh, no, sorry. I didn't mean to pry. Don't matter.
What is it, girl?
She wants her master back. Told you. And it's...
Is that it?
Well, bugger me if this ain't a heartwarming sight. Oh. Doesn't she cut an handsome figure, eh?
She does indeed.
Ah, few scraps of leather's the very least I owe old White Hart. Oh, I'll be sad to see her go, of course. But she's earned her right to happen, don't you worry. We'll get along. You hear that, White Hart? You've earned yourself some time off. You seem awful familiar. That's it. When those chocobos swarmed my car on the road, didn't you?
Must have been my double.
Oh, must have been, eh? Oh, that'll be the excitement getting to me. Anyhow, best be on my way.
You take care of your flock for now. I'll call you when I need you.
Ready, go?
Whoa! Faster! Where's Gav?
Gav should be back by now.
If you're worried about our supplies, we've plenty. Karen's seen to that. Though we're always one missed shipment away from disaster. That broom's as ragged as goat's locks. I hear there's trouble in Rosaria.
On autumn's breath, ill tidings born, an erstwhile home in twain are torn. Now in his path fell shades abide, pray let them not impede his stride.
But none of the curse breakers have returned.
They'll be fine. Sid wouldn't be here if they weren't.
Ah, Clive! How I've missed that scowl.
Where's my report?
What, no kind words for your old pal Gav?
If it's kind words you're after, you're fishing in the wrong barrel. Now sit down, you fool.
So, you remember how quick the Empire was to occupy the Dominion after the fall of Drake's head? And how pissed off all the other nations were that they didn't think to do it first?
Half a century of independence gone at the whim of a madman. So much for their bloody treaty.
Clearly, the promise of unblighted land and the world's supply of crystals was too much for his radiance to resist. And now the Republic's finally decided to follow suit, using liberation as an excuse to declare war on Sambrek. Lined up right outside the Dominion's gates as we speak, looking to starve the Imperials into submission.
And now all eyes are on the Strait of Author.
Well, the two nations beat their shields. The rest sharpen their daggers, ready to set upon the war-weary victor. They'll never see us coming. It's time we moved on the Mother Crystals. Four Mother Crystals remain in Storm and Ash. Drake's Breath near Ironhome. Drake's Fang in Dhalmekia. Drake's Spine in Waloed. And Drake's Tail here in the Crystalline Dominion.
With the bulk of the Republican army marching to Twinside, Drake's Fang will be left exposed.
That is exactly the move Kupka would anticipate. And if there is anything these past 5 years have taught us, is that he loves his traps. There is one place, however, where nobody will be expecting us to go.
Drake's Breath.
There's a shitload of sea between us and it, and I've never been much of a swimmer.
I have an acquaintance in Port Isolde who may be able to help.
Who's that then?
My uncle, Byron Rossfield.
Lord Byron Rossfield of the Seven High Houses, the trade magnate with holdings in over 100 cities. Wait, Rossfield. And you're a Rossfield, of course.
My uncle's name gave him his start in the world, but it was his acumen which earned him his fortune, along with a handsome fleet of ships.
Well, it's settled then. What are we waiting for, eh? Huh?
What are we waiting for, indeed?
But none of the curse breakers have returned.
They'll be fine. Sid wouldn't be here if they weren't.
You look like you could do with a drink. Oh, keep your mug handy.
On autumn's breath, ill tidings born.
I am a tinker by trade, but I've always been fascinated with the art of healing. If only there were a salve to mend a broken engine.
Silly.
Those men didn't hurt Martha, did they?
Is it business or pleasure? Go on then. You're rubbing me blind, you know. Come again. Or don't. I'm not much bothered
Think it's all right
anyway.
to touch him?
I don't know. You go first.
back, are you? So, what'll it be? That it?
If you told me you could fire a forge without a crystal or a bearer before I came here, I would take you for a man. But no.
Chocobo, Chocobo, why can't you fly? What good are your wings if you can't reach the sky? Flap harder, says bluebird, flap harder, says crow. Flap harder or into the oven you go!
Did you come through the forge today? It smells like a still. It would explain Blackthorn's foul mood. All that pounding must be splitting his skull.
How much water can a flower drink?
About as much as a bothersome boy.
It won't be long now, Martel. They'll try your apple soon enough. Sid, I was hoping to speak to you.
Is everything all right?
Oh, yeah, it's just, well, as you know, we've been trying to grow fruit down here.
It's good to know that something of the old hideaway still lives on.
Martel's pride and joy. It was a sapling when she rescued it from the rubble, but look at it now. All our hard work's finally paying off. I took it on, you see, after she died, and now the fruit's, and not only is it ready, it's actually tasty.
Impressive.
I thought this first harvest could go to the curse breakers. You couldn't take them some, could you? Seems...
It'll be nice being the bearer of good...
Oh, she always had a soft spot for that lot, see? And once they've had their share, here you go. Martel apples, they're called. You hear that, Martel?
It's not deep ether.
And you say Sid built this place?
Well, one can't really build what's been lying around for several thousand years. But it was his idea we claim it for our own.
Perhaps they're old enough for the sins of Zemeckis.
So, that's how Hugo Kupka was able to prime that night 5 years ago, despite there being no ether in the Deadlands. Says here that while conjuring magics requires a bearer to draw ether from the air around them, priming requires a dominant to draw it from their very self. So, that's how Hugo Kupka was able to prime that night 5 years ago, despite there being no ether in the Deadlands.
What's the matter, Sid? You look as pale as the day your predecessors.
There was a time I only had eyes for Otto. But then I saw the light, and his name is Cole. That way he looks at you like a frightened fawn who's lost his mother. Oh, if only I could shoot an arrow through his heart.
They say removing a brand is almost as painful as getting one.
Once the Dalmegs have laid siege to the Dominion, very little will be leaving Twinside, including the many medicines distilled there.
Without a ship to carry it there, Drake's breath might as well be on the moon.
Others weren't so lucky, though.
You two look like you could use something to eat.
Martel.
Weren't she the girl from the Furrows?
Course she was.
Aye, and brave as a bane might. Remember when she ran back into the hideaway to collect them trees when...
These aren't those apples. She'd have been proud.
What's the matter, Nectar? The hunt board. It's where the Cursebreakers post sightings of particularly fearsome beasts. Those that might pose a threat to us. Just because they can't be dealt with when they're spotted, doesn't mean they can't be dealt with later. Right. Well, the people of Valisthea are going through a lot already. The last thing they need is ungodly fiends terrorizing them on top of everything else. Then perhaps I can. I don't think so.
Oh, Clive!
The patron's whisper. Does that mean someone else is taking...
Oh, no, that's still me. It's just Karen has her toll, Blackthorn has his hammer. I still catalogue every item that arrives, in addition to setting aside those tokens of Your benefactors are a generous lot. Here you are. You earned this. All done?
Fancy a look at the list, do you? Anything catch your eye? Seen enough?
Doesn't sound like anywhere is safe. Not that I'm planning a journey.
A gift from the backyard.
Blimey, these take me back. I haven't seen a hideaway apple since. Old Sid was the only one who could stomach the things. He'd nab 'em right from the branch, made Martel livid. Not that anyone could stay mad at the man for long.
That sounds like the Sid I knew, all right.
Planning on keeping that lot to yourselves, were you? Hang on. These aren't Martels, are they? I'm glad to see someone carried on what she started. Can't have been easy, not in the Deadlands. Reckon she'd be happy knowing all her hard work didn't go to waste. Clive, tell the lad down in the backyard to run some over for me, will you?
Not so much as a thank you. Well, I've got some manners at least. Thanks, Sid. You can leave the basket with me. I'll see that the others get their share. Oh, and give our compliments to the gardener, won't you?
That was the last of the apples. I should head to the backyard and pass along everyone's regards.
Can't remember the last time I had fresh fruit. Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
And how may I assist you today?
How may I help you today?
Of course. Very good. Here for another of my lectures. Here you are. Very good.
Them old apples were enough to curdle your guts.
That broom's as ragged as goat's locks.
Your uncle always seemed a kindly soul, if a little eccentric.
I hear there's trouble in Rosaria.
Cursebreakers send their thanks. They were clearly very fond of Mart.
They remembered her. I suppose she was very kind, even to a tongue-tied lummox like me. She put everything into her work. She wasn't going to rest until we... When she died, I named a sapling after her. And now it's a full-grown tree.
And through you. Her dream would have died with her.
I didn't do anything really, but...
By the way, Otto's expecting some...
Of course not. I'll see that you're both, well... They like your fruit, Martel. Isn't that wonderful? Just look at her. Isn't Martel in fine fettle? What about you?
Do you think it was wise to leave, Gav? He didn't seem pleased.
I needed his eyes and nose in Dhalmekia. I'm not about to let Kupka take us unawares. Besides, he has a knack for that sort of thing.
That he does.
And wasn't it Sid who said that matters such as these are best left to dominance? Especially should one of his beloved opportunities to grow and change present itself.
I always knew that I would return one day. Return to Ironhome.
For what?
After learning the truth, you were given the chance to face your past. If I am to continue at your side, I must do the same.
We will face it together then.
To the end.
Come on.
How far do you think your mother's reach extends? Will we find the same tragedy in the south as we did at Martha's Rest?
More than likely. Which is why we should hurry. There are still many settlements between here and Port Isolde. We visit as many as we can and hear their stories. Starting with the village of Amber. mistakes. Too slow. Run like the wind. Let's go. Fly, Ambrosia. You deserve a rest.
Mockery of justice is what it is. Lord Elwyn would never have stood for this.
Quiet, you! I think we're loyalists.
Jill, look.
Rosaria must be cleansed of the stain which befouls her, that she might rise once again from the ashes to welcome a new dawn. 'Twould be a pity to make examples of you all for the transgressions of but a handful.
Of course, your lordship. You shall have our full cooperation.
What business could the Black Shields have in a village this small? There's barely room to hide a bearer.
Then they must be here for something else.
You fancy dancing a gallows jig like the miller's son?
All right, I heard you the first time.
I ain't got much, but what's mine is yours, for a price.
Much obliged.
Excuse me, but what was all that about earlier?
You haven't heard? Someone's been stirring up trouble. There've been attacks on the garrison, supplies stolen. They even say a Black Shield was murdered. The Empire wants answers, and what the Empire wants, Empire gets.
Don't they just?
Keep your ears open, eh? The Black Shields will pay good coin for information on the culprits. You'd have to be dull as a sack of stones to think you could take on the Empire. What with their 100 full legions?
100? I heard it were 1,000.
We're going hunting for outlaws. How'd you like that, boy?
There was a time my husband might have stood up to those men. Though back then, he wouldn't have needed to.
Word is, Port Isolde's closed her gates to all but the Highborn, and now a great camp sprung up along the walls. What did those knights want, Father?
I told you to stay in the house. Go on!
Run along now, before one of the boys starts thinking you're something you're not.
Two more left to join the garrison this very morn.
At this rate, there'll be none left to help with the harvest.
You seen him, didn't you?
I'm sorry.
The Black Shields. Just now. You seen them, didn't you? At least I think they was the Black Shields. Can't say I ever saw one before.
Was this the first time they visited the village?
What do you think? Amber's the arse end of nowhere. And they thought we might be harbouring firebrands. Huh. If only we were. I might have turned them in and become a Black Shield myself.
You don't think these firebrands the Empire is looking for could be us, do you?
I don't know.
How'd you get it?
But we need to find out. Greetings, friend. We are travelers.
I know that. What do you want?
We couldn't help noticing those Imperial soldiers who were here earlier.
Don't you go telling these strangers a thing. I speak for the people of this village, and we have nothing more to say to you. You are to leave Amber and never come back.
May I at least ask why?
I don't know who you are or what brings you here, but your presence puts us all in grave danger. The Empire is a harsh master. Its demands are great, and its justice swift. But as long as we keep our heads down and pay our tributes, we are left alone. Some might call it submission. But if it will spare my people the Viceroy's wrath, then I will gladly submit. This village will not become another Eastpool.
Then we shall be on our way. These people live with a knife to their throats. In the mistaken belief that if they cooperate, my mother will show them mercy.
Obedience bought with fear.
Are you all right?
Sorry, It's nothing. We still don't know who the Black Shields are looking for.
Well, whoever they are, the Imperials deem them worth pursuing to the back of beyond. But other than Martha, who else in Rosari would have the courage to stand against the Empire? A new ally would certainly be welcome. Can we find them before the Imperials do? Perhaps the next village will yield more answers.
Perhaps.
Fetch! Run like the wind. This pass will take us through the mountains.
And directly into the path of whoever or whatever lurks here.
Thanks, girl. Ever since the poetry, we've seen more and more of these echoes.
What do you think is waking them? The Mother Crystal's collapse?
Bad idea. You're not going to like it. Get him!
Blood, Clive.
And still wet.
You were told to stay in your homes.
The Black Shields.
You know who we are. Why then, we owe you our thanks. To dwell in darkness, that we may purge...
Say that again. I'll show you a true shield of Rosaria. This one. Tell me what I want, and the end will be swift. Who are you looking?
Why, your friends have been found. The branded you freed from our camps. They await you in Old Hill.
Those are Old Hill's gates.
Then we hurry. Fly, Ambrosia.